continued. So, when we look at Buddhist philosophy, some sectors of Buddhism have a belief in reincarnation. So they must have a belief in the soul or spirit. Other sectors of Buddhism don't believe in soul or spirit or reincarnation, and they consider when the mind is no more, then it's just no more, that the consciousness doesn't continue. I struggle with that one. I struggle with that, particularly in view of the fact that we haven't a single clue what consciousness is. So how could they be so sure that it doesn't exist when the body doesn't exist? I think that's a deep lack of insight. Again, I just think it's a deep lack of insight. And so when Buddhists say that the world is Maya, Maya means illusion, and illusion means that something appears in a way which has no reality or relationship to the thing itself. So we could say a mirage is an illusion. It's the mind playing tricks on us. We could say that the love that somebody proclaims to have for us was an illusion. We could say that all this physical stuff around us is an illusion simply because we create this world via our concepts. And if we don't have concepts and language for things, then they simply do not exist. You may bump into a bush or a tree when you're walking around, and you could say, oh, you see, they do exist. Well, what exists? Just an energy form which is more dense than yours, and it prevents you from moving forward. That's the only thing that exists, people. But we call it tree, we call it wood, and we say it's got bark and branches and leaves and blossoms and things like that. Concept upon concept upon concept upon concept. What actually exists? Just varying, fluctuating fields of energy. So then the Buddhists were correct in saying that the world is Maya. And if we held up a rose to 100 people, and the general consensus of roses in the Western world is something that has beauty, and it has intrinsic beauty, and we like to give roses because they're so beautiful and they possess intrinsic beauty. We like to give those to other objects that we consider possess intrinsic beauty, like our loved ones. So we give one symbolism of intrinsic beauty to another symbolism of intrinsic beauty. And we are saying that, well, you are beautiful and this rose is beautiful, so these two things should go together and enjoy each other's beauty, you know? But what is it about a rose that is beautiful? It's just mostly a program that we've been programmed into. A general consensus is a program, people. Because I'm pretty sure that if you showed a rose to an African bushman who's never actually seen a rose before and never been indoctrinated into roses' intrinsic beauty and how we give them to loved ones, and they're so symbolic and all this stuff. If you give a rose from the Western world to an African bushman who's only ever known desert plants and things like that and never seen a rose, it wouldn't mean anything to him at all. So what we consider a rose to be is illusion, isn't it? If we held up The same rose that we held up to 100 people and they went, oh, that's beautiful, oh yes, I mean, I'm feeling kind of gooey inside and it reminds me of love and it's a symbol of love and all that sort of thing. Well, if you hold that rose up to a chimpanzee, the chimpanzee isn't even going to look at it. And if he does, he's just pick it up and probably start chewing on it. It's going to give it no mind whatsoever, because it doesn't have the consciousness in relation to that. It doesn't have the concepts. It doesn't have the level of programming and brainwashing that we have. And so, if something has intrinsic beauty, then why cannot everything see the intrinsic beauty? If it is actually beauty in something. You would have thought all creatures would have the capacity to see that then, but no, they don't. So this beauty is a concept from the human being, it's a creation of the human being, and it's a fiction of the human being. And we all see things differently, and if you have a depressed person looking at a rose, it won't mean a single thing. They won't even be able to think in any positive realm about any time they've ever given somebody a rose or received a rose, or what roses mean culturally. They won't be able to think about that. They'll just be able to think like, fuck off, rose, you mean nothing to me, because my mind is just dull and it's dead. And if your mind is dull and dead, then what do you see in the world? What discernment do you see? What distinguishing features do you see? It all mingles into a grey and black and vile and evil mass, doesn't it? You see, people, where's the intrinsic beauty? Intrinsic beauty is a state of mind brought about by cultural indoctrination. So it's all Maya. So you're starting to get the picture of things like this, people. So if I look at these trees here now, and trees and bushes, and if I just like, well, what do I know about those trees and bushes and things? I know a few little words pertaining to them, like stinging nettle, and maybe a cow parsley, and pine tree, and a few bits and bobs like that. What do I know? Nothing. I don't know anything. All I'm doing by using those concepts is creating my illusion that I know something. I don't know nothing. Looking in that mass of stuff, I don't know nothing about that stuff. And so just to walk past it and go, oh, that's a little a wood and a few bushes and shrubberies, and what are we doing? We're just projecting our ignorance onto it, aren't we? That's all we're doing. It's our abject ignorance. We know absolutely nothing about nothing. If I say to you, what's this over here? You say car. 2 cars there. Volkswagen Polos. And you'll go, oh, I know what they are. And then I ask you, well, tell me more about that car then. What does Volkswagen mean? I don't know actually. What does Polo mean? What does car actually mean? What's the definition of a car? How does that car work? What is it constructed of? Tell me about the engineering. Tell me about the electrical system in that car. You won't be able to tell me a single thing unless you was like a modern day mechanic, which are called fitters. They're no longer mechanics anymore. They don't know how things work. All they know how to plug in the diagnostic machine on the computer, and the computer tells them what they need to replace. That's all these so-called mechanics know these days. They're not mechanics, they're fitters. They don't repair anything. They don't get down to the mechanics, because the vast majority of everything pertaining to these cars are sealed units. And so the sealed units, for a very good reason, so you can't mend them when they break. You can't look into them and see how they work, what makes them function, and apply your mind to it. No, you just take out one box and you fit another box, and that's it. So it's all Maya, people. Every single thing is Maya. And I could continue this journey, illustration after illustration after illustration, talking to you about Maya. For instance, I could say, well, that was a police car with a siren. Seems like there's an emergency going on. And then I say, what's a police car what's a siren, what's an emergency, and then we just look in the dictionary and we look for words that mean other words. And we go, well, emergency means this, and it means that, and it means this, and it means that, and it means this, and it means that, and it means this, and it's mad. And we go round and round in circles. Well, what have we concluded that what emergency really means? We'll never conclude anything. We'll just go round in circles. Unless we stop at a certain point within our imagination and we accept that we know that. We just accept that we know what an emergency is. We just accept that everybody knows what an emergency is. Albeit emergencies will vary greatly. The way people describe emergencies will vary greatly. The way we react to an emergency will vary greatly. So what is an emergency? We will never be able to define anything, people. That's why the world is mine. Goodness me, it's the April holidays and there's fucking traffic everywhere. Absolutely fucking everywhere. Oh, goodness me. Anyway, I just go, oh goodness me, there's traffic everywhere and it's horrendous and stuff like that. But it's all Maya, because I've been indoctrinated into thinking that there's such a thing called noise, there's such a thing called traffic, there's such a thing called being agitated, there's such a thing about not liking something. And so we imagine what those concepts mean, or probably what we do is we create within us what those concepts mean. Because if somebody said to you football, then instantly you would create something what means something to you in relation to that word football. If someone mentions football to me, I'll go, oh, that fucking bullshit, that fucking what do you call it, bread and circus act. It's just fucking circus act. Football is a circus act, just to keep the idiots focused on something. And then the idiots think they can know something by knowing what number 2's called. Oh, number 2's called Bartram, number 3's called Wellington, number 4, oh, when number 4 dribbled it and passed it to number 3, Wellington passed it to Bartram, and Bartram passed it to Smith, and Smith passed it on to Coast, and it's like they think they know something. What do they know? They're just saying a load of fucking words. Just a crock of shit. It's just all Maya, people. All Maya. Giving people the idea of actually living a life. Because the programs that they are endowed with is nothing more than a program on the computer. You program a computer to respond in a certain way from the keyboard, and it will display this and it'll display that, and it'll do all this different sorts of shit. And so what's the difference between a computer and a human being? We just get programmed the same, we respond the same, we react the same. Only nobody's pressing our physical buttons, they're pressing our metaphysical buttons, aren't they? And so we all use that term, fucking hell triggered me, or press my buttons, he did, and this, that and the other. Yeah, you're getting triggered, you're getting your metaphysical buttons pressed, and so you're getting your program spiked. That's what you're doing, people. That's all that's happening. With everything you see, everything you experience, you're just getting your program highlighted. It's like when surgeons cut off the top of the cranium and then they stick an electrode on the brain, and then it stimulates a certain part of the brain, and then the individual, who is still conscious at the time, states what memory they are receiving. And so look what's happening. You can create the world, what the individual is experiencing, just by poking parts of the brain, people. You see what's happening? Just like putting fingers on a keyboard. No different. No different, people. Only the human beings have the illusion of sentience, and of being and presence and all that sort of thing, when there is none of those things. We are a simulation, a dream in the mind of God, and all roads lead to Rome again. They all lead back to that. Every single avenue that one takes, if you're a thinking philosophical person, all roads are going to lead back to Rome. What's Rome? It's the abyss, people. It's the pure essence of cosmic consciousness, which fundamentally is awareness. Out of awareness comes consciousness, out of consciousness comes thoughts, out of thoughts comes imagination, out of imagination comes things like the physical world, the illusion of the physical world and all that different sorts of stuff. So anyway, gotta stop talking now. Voice is getting just so dry, man. Goodness me, no wonder I can't fucking sing anymore. I think that's it, you know. I really do think that's it. I just talk too much. Wear my voice out. It's always tired. Anyway.